Hi, this is Pradeek and I have this newly launched Mi laptop. Correction, this is Xiaomi Notebook Pro, and we just got done with the Redmi Book 14 review, and boy, there we have Xiaomi Notebook Pro with metal unibody frame, 14-inch 2K 60Hz display, a giant trackpad and a fingerprint sensor, and other top of the line specs. This whole package makes you wonder, who is this laptop for? Can you game on it? Will it run your presentations or will it let you code? Well, for that, my friend, watch till the end and I'll answer all of these questions. This is Pradeek, you're already watching TechWiser. Let's go. And well, for the ritual, let's unbox this thing. The actual laptop comes wrapped in Skyofrome. Let's keep that aside for a moment. And you have minimal paperwork. That's always a plus in my manual. Got it? My manual? Never mind. What else? We have a charging brick with lots and lots of cables on either ends, and it's Type-C. Thank you. The world gets a little greener every time companies switch to a universal charging standard. Like all mobile phones, TWS, everything switched to USB PD. So you can carry one charger and you can safely fast charge every device. Now let's move to the laptop, Xiaomi Notebook Pro. Damn, I like the finish. They're using Series 6 aluminum all around, and you know it looks familiar to a laptop, but I don't mind this time. Like here, see this, absolutely no flex, and that's what I felt while I was using a MacBook Air. The chassis doesn't flex at all. That's good. Now for the weight, it's not that heavy. I mean, it's solid, chunky, but not bulky. See, only 1.4 kg. Anything below 1.5 kg is super lightweight for me. Plus, it's got plenty of vents for air intake. There's one long strip on the bottom, and there's this sneaky little holes on the inside of the space, one on each side. And talking about ports, let's look at them from left to right. We have USB-C with PD, power delivery, then an HDMI port, which is disappointingly 1.4, like, come on, 2.0. Now, in case you don't know, HDMI 2.0 has more bandwidth than 1.4, obviously, 18 Gbps compared to 10 Gbps. And now, I wouldn't complain much because you also get Thunderbolt 4 port, USB 3.2 port, and if we shift to the right, we have a USB-A 2.0 port and a headphone jack. I would say it's got all the essential ports. I do miss the Ethernet port. Okay, now let's do the one finger hinge test. Oh, it passes. Perfect. A+. Also, the hinge is pretty strong. Like, it gives you great confidence when you just open and shut the laptop every time. Okay, let's turn it on. You also get a fingerprint scanner. I've set up everything, and that's a good speed for a laptop fingerprint scanner. Damn, you see? Moving on. The wake up time is pretty impressive. There's this instant wake up when you open the lid. Now, since it's a 14-inch compact notebook, you don't have a full-size keyboard. It's a scissor style keyboard with 1.3 mm travel, and hear this sweet typing sound. And here's an interesting thing, you have a programmable macro key, so you can actually configure it to open a custom app, or if you're creative like the memes, you can record macro action. Like suppose I want to resize images in this folder to 675 pixel, I can do that. Press this key, wait, and all the images in this folder are resized to 675 pixel. I love scripts and programmable keys. Good one. Anyways, finally, the Xiaomi laptop has a backlit keyboard. You can adjust it to 2 brightness levels of white light. The trackpad is really big. It does support Windows precision drivers. So you have all the 3 swipe, 4 swipe gestures, all of those work. But here's what I look out for a trackpad on a laptop. Like normally when you write or even code, you have your palm a bit on the trackpad. And in some laptops, they take that palm as a touch and just change your cursor. So you start typing on another line. And here, as you can see, the touchpad does have palm rejection. Nice. Good. Now, speaking of good things, the display is really good in terms of what you get with other laptops in this segment. It's a 2K display, 2560 by 1600, and we'll talk about that in a bit. There's a bit of complaint on that, but here the aspect ratio is 16:10. So if you play Netflix on normal 16:9 laptop, you get this black bars. However, here if you see, the black bars are less. So for media consumption, you should prefer 4:3 or 16:10 laptops. Now, Xiaomi says it's an 2K IPS panel, so viewing angles, if you see in the camera, aren't that bad. It gets decently bright at 300 nits, so not for the outdoors or you would get huge HDR performance. But Xiaomi does provide an anti-glare coating. So if you see, there's a huge studio light right behind me and the display is not at all reflective. And surprise, surprise, you have a webcam over here. So a quick story, when the original Mi notebook launched, in order to make the bezels thin, they removed the webcam. But then COVID hit and everyone was working from home, and that was the time when you needed the webcam the most. So in this iteration, Xiaomi has included a 720p webcam, and this footage is through that, so you can judge the audio and video quality. I say the webcam is good for the price, but 720p in 2021? Why? I guess for me to plug my video, how to improve your webcam, link here. Xiaomi claims that the battery life on this thing would last up to 11 hours, which would vary based on your usage. Remember I told you that it supports USB PD charging, so I tried charging it with a 30 watt MacBook charger, a 60 watt PD charger, and it does charge, but it's not that fast. You need at least 60 watt USB PD charger or the supplied 65 watt brick to charge it quickly. But for emergencies, sure, you can just carry one brick in your bag, the laptop brick, to charge your phone as well as laptop, and fast charge, not just charge. And lastly, let's game a bit. How many FPS does the thing have? Now here we are dealing with an i5 11300H. It's a 4-core 8-thread CPU with a turbo boost clock speed of 5 GHz on a single core. You get integrated Intel Xe graphics, and to be honest, it's not a gaming laptop, but you can do it with low graphic intensive games such as CSGO. It's a CPU intensive game. So during my brief testing, it got an average of 60 FPS, and that was at very low setting. So there's that. So for the pricing, the base variant i5 with 8GB of RAM comes at 57,000, but I would say pay a bit more, around 60,000, and get the 16GB RAM variant, the one we have. It helps you if you code, multitask a lot, and also the RAM is not upgradable on these machines. And for the Ryzen fans out there, I guess it's a supply chain issue at the moment, so we don't have a Ryzen variant of the Xiaomi Notebook Pro. So yeah, that was my first impression of the Xiaomi Notebook Pro. And to answer the question I raised in the starting, can you game on it? Sure, but only low graphic ones like CSGO, Valorant or GTA 5. Nothing fancy or it won't handle it. But you can easily multitask, do presentations, coding, video calls on the go. Not an issue at all. You have Thunderbolt, so you can also plug in a 4K secondary monitor if needed. And the build quality definitely holds up thanks to the aluminum unibody design. That's my favorite. And as you also know, there's also a Realme Book out there. It's a direct competition to this laptop. Let us know if you want to see a comparison on that. By the way, we also have a new TechWiser Hindi channel, so you can watch the content over there and also subscribe to that. Help us reach 10,000 this month. On that note, this is Pradeep signing off. See you pretty soon.